Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Why, hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. We want to thank our newest patrons.
We want to say a huge thank you to Robert, Danman, and Joseph. You guys, we really appreciate your support over there on Patreon. It helps keep us going on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I wanted to do a quick little update on one particular subject because the last time I played one of these clips from a certain spot, it got blocked in certain countries. So this is going to be just a short kind of single focus little video here. And you guys may or may not have seen this, but speaking at the WEF's recent Davos summit, John Kerry's daughter, Vanessa Kerry, claimed that the climate crisis is a health crisis, going on to express concern that Agenda 2030 is losing progress. Well, we know that they were talking about building back trust and getting the public to trust them once again as everything is getting revealed. And they've also come straight out and said, well, it seems that people don't understand the science behind climate change, but maybe they'll understand water. Okay. So, I mean, everything you see is very, very telegraphed, and it's almost telegraphed in a manner that they're doing it with the notion to implant seeds for the future in a way that we might not expect. But we have to recognize that this is a very, very intelligent system that's doing this, even though at times they could look very, very stupid. Absolutely. It looked like, well, they're blowing all their secrets out here in the open. 2023 was an apocalyptic year in terms of extreme weather events, and it's about to get worse. Oh, well, thank you for letting us know what you got planned there. As you see this, Ruh-roh, Shaggy. Oh, hey, Rama's here.
Rama.
Hello, boys and girls. Here's Rama. Yes, we're still working on that Saturday morning cartoon show with Rama. It looks like we might need rationing controlled by the WF, not more capacity that would allow you to live freely. Yeah, same for food, same for energy, same for carbon footprint. Global freshwater demand will exceed supply 40% by 2030. So says the experts. This little World Economic Forum little tweet. You can see that the European Union is in sync with this, as the EU fears water shortages may soon spark internal clashes. A leaked European Commission document warns climate change will have a destructive impact on water supplies in many member states. Leaked? Yeah. Okay. Is it time to make it look like it was leaked, boss? Yeah, I think it's time. Okay, we'll roll with it. I mean, that's how your leaks go here.
Well, it is. I mean, it's at a certain level. It might sound silly, but behind the scenes, when nobody's looking, they're making these plans, and these are coming through entities that they're not tied to the main faces that we see, but there are beings that are calling these disasters one at a time. And the really scary part about it is they're kind of invisible in the sense that they're not necessarily human. So that's the thing. I think that's the ingredient that so many are missing, and everybody is saying, what's going on here? What's going on? Why are they being so stupid? They're not being stupid. Somebody's taking orders from an off-planet entity, and it's just too much for people to believe.
Well, that just makes me think of the Watchers.
Yeah.
The Watchers, your biblical Watchers. They're Watchers. And, it goes back to that book. Well, there was a series of books out. Communion was a big book by Whitley Strieber. But the Betty Andreasson affair and others, too. There's actually been times when the Greys have admitted to being the Watchers. And, who are you? Because they have abducted people, and they answer, oh, well, we're the Watchers. We watch humanity. Yes. Interesting, is it not? Now, this is the one I want to play for you. In a leaked private video from a private WEF indoctrination session. Klaus Schwab promises recruits that their avatar will continue to live after they die, and that their brains will be replicated through artificial intelligence and algorithms. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't make this stuff up. Again, is this somebody's big fupa? This was not supposed to get out? Or was this supposed to get out? Because they will sacrifice everything and anything. And we might point fingers and think, okay, this is the top of the human pyramid. But in reality, it's still just a stepping stone and part of the plan. Here we are thinking in so many ways that everything is being exposed. And it might be to a degree. And I do think we can shift. I think we can shift timelines. And there is the obvious evil, because this is pretty darn obvious. This is as obvious as it gets. And we shouldn't think that, oh my gosh, you must be amazingly inspired, or just somebody has to really, really be looking closely. This should be so freaking obvious to all of us that we almost should be suspicious of this. So that's just the real suspicious part of me bringing this up.
Well, I mean, have we not been pre-programmed with that Dr. Evil with Austin Powers and the bald bad guy who's just really evil? I mean, he has the voice, he has the demeanor, he has the bald head. I mean, it's all right there, and they put that movie out there. So to me, it's just, they're bringing to life one of their movies where they told us everything, where there's going to be an evil ruler who's going to destroy the world.
Yeah, I mean, it goes from obviously the NAZISs to Dr. Evil, to the Bond villains, which Dr. Evil was patterned on. It's just so obvious that we should really look and say, is this all part of the plan?
You have the chance to look forward to a career of 50 years. And my own opinion, maybe more. You will get some injections and some and so on, and then don't forget your avatar will continue to live. So and your brain will be replicated through artificial intelligence and algorithm. So we don't know, but at least 50 years. You have the chance to look forward to a career of 50 years.
So, here he is selling the young global leaders. This is, again, selling those newly coming into the demonic control system. Your avatar will continue to live. Your brain will be replicated through AI and algorithms, but at least 50 years. At least 50 years. We don't know. And so, there again, he's disavowing anything he's promising by saying we don't know. But you will be part of the Borg. Absolutely. You're literally kind of selling your soul, or a portion of your soul in a sense. Because what they want to do is trap the source spark that's in us that they are lacking, and utilize that as a more permanent energy source. They want to keep the lower self away from the higher self forever. This truly is very, very diabolical. And, maybe this is a sign of their plans being exposed, or maybe it's an intentional release because they're going to really shift gears, and they might even, again, sacrifice the entirety of this particular institution, and maybe even the EU and even the current system, and to bring in something that's in the wings that is going to be headed by, perhaps others entirely. Maybe, you're going to need somebody that's familiar. There's that Elon guy keeps coming back in my mind. And this is Yuval Harari, chief advisor to Klaus Schwab at WEF. And this is that famous clip where he says, there's too many humans. What do we need humans for? At the moment, our best solution is keep them happy with drugs and computer games. And that's exactly what they do. Exactly.
You know, and it's not just drugs too. It's food, it's media, it's so many other entertainment focuses that actually destroy the soul in many ways and pull the soul down. And when I was listening to that clip just before this with Dr. Evil, he said the word "get some injections." I thought he said "get some injections," and to me, when they do that and they have people around all of this, the computers, the laptops, the Wi-Fi. I mean, it's creating its own little circuitry, this etheric world, this etheric network. And then they inject you with these compatible things.
Yeah, we think in terms of biometric identification as being a goal, but there's biometrics, there's infrastructure being built inside people, period.
Right. And that infrastructure is, I feel it's going to make the soul very bogged down. It's going to make it very difficult to get out of that etheric matrix that they're creating. This is why we're always talking about being organic, because you want to be able to get up and above and out of whatever system they have people in when they're moving from one world to the next. And then, we have this other little guy here who's talking about, well, we'll just keep them happy with drugs and food and video games. And it's just beyond sadness. And I look at it, and I do look at this as, they talk about the Antichrist in the Bible. Is this the Antichrist showing itself? And it's been here all along, but now it's showing itself.
Well, again, you have to recognize that's part of the programming too. So they have, 30-something% of the world, 33% or so, I think it is 33% of the world identifies as Christians. So 33% of the world is looking for an antichrist, and then 30% of the world is identifies as Islamic. So they're looking forward to their prophecies, which again are kind of similar. And maybe they're looking for the Imam Mahdi to come and lead the global jihad. And this is all part of pre-programming. We have to just really take a big step back and say, okay, what is really going on here? Because we are at the end of the U.S. as we know it. That's obvious. It should be so obvious. But what's next? What is next? I mean, the things that we've gotten from the guides don't show the entirety of the picture. We've only gotten glimpses of the picture, and Cindy was getting more glimpses yesterday, which we'll elaborate on. And I was getting other glimpses, and they were very, very crazy glimpses of literal extraterrestrial entertainment and having their little AI cyborgs out there entertaining the masses and replicating people, famous people of the past. So, there's going to be all sorts of, it's going to be just a mind-blowing show. After this period of this war, then in so many ways the real show begins, because those that make it through this time, and I think we can absolutely have, the vast majority of people make it through the war period. I think we can change timelines. And even if we look to those DEAGEL numbers, they do show several 100,000. It was, I want to say it was like 560-ish million people leaving the planet. That still is far less than the 8 billion, not that we want to lose anybody, but just saying, again, they put these numbers out. They're not hitting their numbers. And they're not really being successful. So they always will have plan B, C, D, and so on down the line. we have to recognize they're going by AI right now. So they're always just shifting to the next highest probability. So we keep pushing them farther and farther down the line through non-compliance and awakening, and keep putting out your positive vibes, and do share your comments. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. So we'll leave this one at that, and we'll come back with more Source willing later on.
Yes. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.